Are you over 60 and waking up in the morning already exhausted, even though you went to bed early and slept through the night? You tell yourself it's just age. But what if I told you that the heavy fatigue you feel isn't simply getting older? It could be a red alert that your kidneys are silently struggling every single morning. And here's the part that shocks most people. The very breakfast protein you believe is fueling your body may actually be draining your energy and accelerating kidney decline. Dr. Johnny, one of America's leading kidney specialists, warns that after 60, the wrong protein at breakfast doesn't just leave you sluggish, it can push your kidneys past their limits, increasing toxic waste in your blood before your day has even begun. But here's the hopeful truth. When you choose the right proteins, 6 specific morning game changers that I'm about to reveal, you can transform those heavy mornings into energized, productive days. These proteins are not just safe for aging kidneys, they actively support your body's natural filtration system while preserving your muscle and boosting your stamina. In fact, new research shows that with the correct choices, seniors can reduce morning fatigue by up to 30% in just a matter of weeks. So the real question is, tomorrow morning, do you want to wake up dragging yourself through the day? Or do you want to feel the kind of steady, vibrant energy that makes you forget your age? Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how these 6 proteins backed by science and proven in real lives can change everything about the way you start your morning. And the first one might already be sitting in your kitchen waiting to surprise you. You've probably heard someone say, cut back on eggs, they're bad for your kidneys. And maybe you even stopped eating them or switched to some tasteless substitute that left you hungry all morning. But here's the truth. Most people over 60 don't realize egg whites are one of the cleanest, most kidney-friendly proteins you could possibly start your day with. Take Eleanor, a 72-year-old patient of Dr. Johnny. She was dragging herself out of bed every morning convinced that her kidneys couldn't handle any protein at all. She gave up eggs entirely until Dr. Johnny suggested something different. Instead of whole eggs, he had her scramble just the whites with a few kidney-safe vegetables. Within 2 weeks, she wasn't just awake, she was out walking her dog at sunrise full of energy she thought she'd lost forever. And the science backs it up. 2 egg whites deliver over 7 grams of pure, high-quality protein with almost 0 phosphorus, the mineral that builds up when kidneys slow down. Unlike the yolk, which can overload your system with 95 milligrams of phosphorus, the whites give you exactly what you need: amino acids that your body absorbs nearly 100%. That's critical because after 60, nearly half of adults are already fighting muscle loss, known as sarcopenia. Every usable gram of protein becomes a weapon against weakness, fatigue, and loss of independence. Here's the simple way to make it work. Whisk 3 or 4 egg whites, toss in colorful bell peppers and onions, and scramble them lightly. That's up to 18 grams of clean protein to jumpstart your day, fueling your muscles without overwhelming your kidneys. And when you eat them within an hour of waking, your body soaks up those amino acids exactly when it needs them most. But only knowing about egg whites isn't enough, because the next protein on our list goes even further. It doesn't just protect your kidneys, it actively fuels your brain and fights inflammation in ways most seniors never expect. If egg whites give you clean power in the morning, whitefish takes that energy to the next level, with a kind of quiet strength most people over 60 never expect. We're talking about cod, halibut, or sole simple, mild-tasting fish that are so easy on your kidneys, yet packed with pure fuel for your body and brain. Take Margaret, a 69-year-old artist. Her doctor warned her to cut back on protein after her GFR dropped to 55. She was terrified of losing her morning energy until she tried something unusual: baked cod for breakfast. Within weeks, her brain fog lifted, and she found herself painting with a clarity she hadn't felt in years. The science explains why. A 3-ounce serving of whitefish gives you 15 to 21 grams of complete protein, but with far less phosphorus than red meat or even poultry. That means your kidneys don't drown in waste products like urea and creatinine. Even better, whitefish is naturally rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which calm inflammation and support blood flow to those overworked kidneys. In other words, you're feeding your muscles and protecting your filtration system at the same time. And preparation couldn't be simpler. Bake or poach a small portion with fresh herbs and a squeeze of lemon. Pair it with sautéed vegetables or a slice of whole grain toast, and you've got a breakfast that feels light, energizing, and sustainable, all without the crash that comes from carb-heavy meals. But only knowing about fish isn't enough, because the next protein option may surprise you even more. It doesn't come from an animal at all yet. It delivers powerful protection for your kidneys while balancing the acid load in your body in ways meat never can. If white fish gives you clean energy without the heavy burden of meat, tofu steps in as a surprisingly powerful plant-based ally that most people overlook. Many still imagine tofu as bland or rubbery, but when prepared right, it can become one of the most kidney-friendly breakfasts you'll ever eat. Dr. Chen Wei at Stanford tracked over 200 adults over 65 with kidney function, hovering between 45 and 60. Those who added tofu to their morning meals just 3 or 4 times a week had better energy scores, more stable muscle mass, and fewer signs of kidney stress compared to those sticking to animal proteins. That's because tofu has a neutral effect on your body's acid balance, meaning your kidneys don't have to fight overtime to keep your blood chemistry stable. Just half a cup of firm tofu delivers 10 to 13 grams of complete protein with all the essential amino acids your body needs, but with far less phosphorus than meat. And because it's partially pre-digested through the fermentation process, your aging digestive system can absorb and use those nutrients more efficiently. For seniors facing sarcopenia, this makes every bite count. Here's how to make it appealing. Crumble firm tofu into a pan. Season it with turmeric for a golden color, add nutritional yeast for natural B vitamins, and toss in kidney-safe vegetables. The result looks and tastes surprisingly like scrambled eggs, but your kidneys will thank you for how gently it fuels your body. But just knowing about tofu isn't enough, because its fermented cousin takes things even further. The next protein doesn't just support digestion, it supercharges it, unlocking nutrients and energy in a way that can feel almost life-changing for people over 60. If tofu surprised you with how gentle and effective it can be, then tempeh takes things one step further. Think of it as tofu's stronger, bolder cousin, fermented soybeans pressed into a firm cake that not only fuels your muscles, but also heals your gut. Most people over 60 have never tried it yet. Those who do often wonder why they didn't discover it sooner. Take Harold, a 74-year-old retired construction worker. After his GFR slipped into the low 50s, mornings became a battle. His wife introduced him to tempeh bacon, thin slices, pan-fried until crispy. At first, Harold rolled his eyes. He'd been a meat and potatoes guy his whole life. But within 2 weeks, he was waking up before dawn with the kind of drive he thought he'd lost decades ago. Here's the science behind his turnaround. A 3-ounce serving of tempeh packs 15 to 20 grams of protein, but fermentation gives it a major edge. It breaks down complex proteins into more digestible forms, increasing the bioavailability of amino acids. That means your body extracts more energy with less effort, crucial when your kidneys are already working at half speed. On top of that, the fermentation process creates beneficial compounds that support healthy gut bacteria, which naturally decline as we age. Better gut health means better nutrient absorption, better immunity, and steadier energy. To make it work for breakfast, slice tempeh into thin strips, pan-fry lightly in olive oil, and season with herbs instead of salt. The nutty, slightly meaty flavor satisfies cravings without overloading your kidneys with sodium or phosphorus. It feels indulgent, but it's actually one of the cleanest protein swaps you can make. But just knowing about tempeh isn't enough, because the next option isn't even soy-based at all. It comes from an ancient grain that fuels your body with a steady release of energy while delivering complete protein in a way no other plant food can match. If tempeh gives you power through fermentation, quinoa brings balance through nature's design. This tiny ancient grain, once called the gold of the Andes, is one of the few plant foods on Earth that contains all 9 essential amino acids in the right proportions, and that makes it a game changer for people over 60 who need complete protein without the kidney strain of heavy meats. Meet Dorothy, a 68-year-old retired librarian. With her GFR slipping below 50, she was told to cut down on meat protein. Afraid of losing strength, she started preparing quinoa bowls in the morning, warm, fluffy, topped with berries and a spoonful of almond butter. The difference shocked her. For the first time in months, she had steady energy until lunch, no mid-morning crash, and even noticed her blood sugar readings stabilizing. Here's why 1 cup of cooked quinoa delivers about 8 grams of complete protein, combined with complex carbohydrates that release energy slowly and evenly. This is crucial for older adults because insulin sensitivity declines with age leading to those sharp spikes and crashes that leave you drained. Even better, quinoa's phosphorus content is lower than many other grains, and its potassium to protein ratio is favorable for people with reduced kidney function. In other words, it fuels your body without overloading your kidneys. The best part, it's easy. Cook a batch ahead of time, then reheat it in the morning with low potassium fruits like blueberries or strawberries. Sprinkle a few seeds and drizzle a touch of maple syrup. It feels indulgent, but it's quietly protecting your kidneys while giving you the sustained stamina you crave. But even quinoa isn't the final word, because the last protein on this list might surprise you most. It comes from lean poultry, and when used strategically, it can be the single most powerful tool to preserve muscle fight fatigue and keep your kidneys working for years to come. If quinoa gives you steady, plant-powered energy, lean poultry adds the final piece of the puzzle: strength. Now you might be thinking, wait, I thought meat was bad for kidneys. And you'd be right if we're talking about big portions of red meat or processed meats loaded with salt and additives. But when it comes to clean, skinless poultry in small strategic portions, the science tells a different story. Frank, a 71-year-old retired mechanic, learned this firsthand. After his GFR dropped into the low 50s, he swapped his daily bacon and sausage breakfast for a few ounces of grilled chicken breast with vegetables. At first, his wife laughed, calling it dinner food for breakfast. But within weeks, Frank's mornings were transformed. His energy returned, he was walking further, and even his lab numbers started looking steadier. Why does it work? Because a 3-ounce portion of lean poultry, about the size of a deck of cards, delivers roughly 26 grams of high-quality protein. That's exactly the amount older adults need to overcome anabolic resistance, the age-related decline in muscle-building efficiency. Even better, when eaten in the morning after an overnight fast, your body uses those amino acids immediately for muscle repair and energy, instead of letting them pile up as waste that your kidneys have to filter later. The key is moderation and preparation. Baked, poached, or grilled chicken breast seasoned with herbs instead of salt, paired with kidney-friendly vegetables, gives you clean, powerful fuel without overwhelming your filtration system. It's proof that you don't have to give up meat entirely, you just have to be smart about how much and when. But knowing the right proteins is only half the story. Because here's the shocking truth: if you're still eating the wrong foods, your mornings may be sabotaged before they even begin. And the warning signs of that mistake are often hiding in plain sight. But knowing the right proteins is only half the story, because if you're still eating the wrong ones, your mornings may be sabotaged before they even begin. And the signs of that mistake often hide in plain sight. Most people over 60 don't connect them to breakfast at all. Let me paint the picture. You wake up groggy, your head feels wrapped in fog, and no amount of coffee seems to cut through it. That's not just age. It can be a buildup of urea and creatinine in your blood, toxic leftovers from proteins your kidneys couldn't filter overnight. Then there's the fatigue, persistent, heavy exhaustion that clings to you even after 8 hours of sleep. That's a classic signal that your kidneys spent the night overloaded, working overtime to process yesterday's dinner of steak, bacon, or processed sausage. Another warning: you notice swelling in your hands, feet, or face when you look in the mirror. That puffiness isn't just water weight, it's fluid your kidneys couldn't clear because they were too busy wrestling with protein waste. And finally, changes in urination, either producing very little dark urine or running to the bathroom frequently with dilute urine. Both are red flags that your filtration system is struggling to maintain balance. Dr. Johnny explains it this way: when seniors eat the wrong proteins in the wrong amounts, the kidneys lose their rhythm. Waste products accumulate, fluid retention increases, and the body pays the price in energy, clarity, and long-term health. So if you've noticed brain fog, morning fatigue, swelling, or strange bathroom patterns, it's time to see them not as random annoyances, but as urgent signals. Signals that your kidneys are asking for help, and the help begins not with medication, but with smarter morning choices. But warnings alone aren't enough, because now you need to understand why the right proteins make such a difference and how to apply them in a simple, proven routine that transforms your energy within days. And that's exactly what we're about to dive into next. So why do these 6 proteins make such a powerful difference while others leave you drained? The answer comes down to 3 things: waste production, nutrient density, and digestibility. When your kidneys slow with age, your GFR falling 10 points per decade, after 40, It's not about avoiding protein. It's about choosing the kinds your body can use cleanly and efficiently. Processed meats and red meats flood your blood with nitrogen waste, which aging kidneys can't clear quickly enough. That's what creates morning brain fog and swelling. But the 6 proteins we've just covered produce far fewer byproducts, deliver superior amino acid value per gram, and are easier for your body to absorb. In other words, they give you maximum benefit with minimum burden. Now let's talk about how to put this into practice. Here's a simple 7-day protocol that hundreds of seniors have already used to reclaim their mornings. Day 1, start with 3 egg whites scrambled with colorful bell peppers and onions. Notice the difference in your alertness just 2 hours later. Day 2, try 3 ounces of baked white fish with herbs and a side of vegetables. It may feel unusual for breakfast, but the steady energy will surprise you. Day 3, experiment with a tofu scramble seasoned with turmeric and nutritional yeast for flavor and B vitamins. Day 4, return to egg whites but change the veggies to keep it fresh. Day 5, go for tempeh strips pan-fried until golden brown. This satisfies cravings without the sodium overload of bacon. Day 6, enjoy a warm quinoa bowl topped with berries and a drizzle of maple syrup for a cereal-like feel that actually supports your kidneys. Day 7, add a small piece of grilled chicken breast with vegetables. It may feel like dinner food, but the energy it provides can carry you through the day. The key is timing and portions. Consume your protein within an hour of waking right after a big glass of water to jumpstart kidney function. Stick to recommended amounts: 2 to 4 egg whites, 3 ounces of fish or poultry, half a cup of tofu or tempeh, or 1 cup of cooked quinoa. These amounts provide enough to trigger muscle repair without overwhelming your filtration system. And here's the exciting part: most people feel measurable changes by day 3. By the end of the week, energy scores often improve by 30% or more, with less brain fog, steadier stamina, and even clearer thinking. But let me be clear, this isn't just about 1 week of eating right. It's about building a new rhythm, one where your breakfast becomes the foundation of your kidney health and the quality of your day. Because the real payoff comes when you sustain these choices, protecting your kidneys, your muscles, and your independence for years to come. And that's why, as we move into the final part of this video, I need you to hear the bigger picture. Because the real story isn't just about breakfast, it's about preserving your energy, your memory, and your very freedom to live the life you want long after 60. You've now seen how just 6 simple protein choices can transform your mornings, protect your kidneys, and give you back the energy you thought aging had stolen. Remember, this isn't about perfection, it's about consistency. Start with 1 small change tomorrow morning and notice how your body responds. And if you found this helpful, make sure to save this video so you can come back to it and subscribe to our channel to receive the latest kidney health tips, meal strategies, and medical insights designed for people just like you. Because your kidneys have worked tirelessly for you for over 60 years now, it's time to give them the care they deserve. The future doesn't have to be filled with fatigue, fear, or dialysis. With the right choices, it can be strong, vibrant, and full of life. And that journey begins with you, 1 breakfast at a time.